Hello and welcome back to this year's Halloween special. Yes, so normally I don't usually post on Thursdays, but because it's Halloween, that is going to change. So as you can tell by this title and the thumbnail, I am once again revisiting the Final Destination franchise. Why? Well, because to be honest, the third installment is not only the one that got me hooked on the series, but it's probably arguably the best in the five movies. So yeah, he's like I said, this is the one that got me into the franchise, and I remember it well. It was back when I had stations up in my room, and randomly I saw it being advertised on, I think it was RTE, which probably funny enough is where I seen the end for the first movie. Because like I said, I had vague memories of the first movie being um, the bit where Billy gets his head lopped off, where he's like, "You're dead, man, you're dead," as well as the ending when the sign comes and whacks the other guy, and then the movie ends. But it was really watching this movie is what spawned my love for the franchise. That then led me to go watch the first two, and then the terrible fourth movie, The Final Destination, and the pretty good Final Destination 5. So yeah, if it wasn't for this series, this movie, I wouldn't be as interested in the franchise like I am now. Where I am looking forward to the next installment, which I believe is called Bloodline. So I can't wait for more news on that one. So once again, the different director. Well, I say different. It's the same director who directed the first one. That's something that happened for the first four movies, where the person who directed the first movie as well as this movie and then the person who directed the second movie also directed the fourth movie, which that director done a phenomenal job on Final Destination 2, but done an absolute garbage fest for the Final Destination, and it's one that I'm not looking forward to returning to because, as I said, out of the five, it's garbage. It is the worst one, and I know, by this point three movies in, a lot of it's starting to feel formulaic and stuff. And it's true, it is starting to feel a bit, formulaic. They haven't, improved or changed anything. The only difference is this time that William Bloodworth isn't really a main part in this, and he doesn't really show back up again until the fifth movie, which is a prequel to the first one. Um, but his voice is in this. He is the voice of the devil animatronic Tingamabob for the roller coaster, because that's what happens in this one. It's a big giant roller coaster disaster that decimates the people of McKinley High. Um, and it's our main character of Wendy who has a vision of it, and of course, but there is one new interesting twist on this, and that is she in the second movie, it was the main character there that went out of their way to go search for Clear, but in this, it's one of the survivors that tells her Wendy about the Flight 180 phenomenon from that happened 6 years prior in this movie, and then as well we do get a reference to the second one that there was a photo taken that had said next exit in 180, again referencing Flight 180. But Wendy doesn't care. She has absolutely no interest in this whatsoever, especially when he says, one of the characters says that after these people got off of the plane, that within a couple of months they all started dying in weird and mysterious deaths. And so that, but it's not until Ashley and Ashlyn, the two bimbos in this movie, get burnt alive in a tanning bed. That while she's looking at the photos, that's when she started to realize that the photos pre-predict how these people are going to die. Um, the survivors essentially that she took. And I have to say, the match cut from them burning in the tanning beds to their coffins is one of the best scenes in the film. It's just instant cut to the funeral, and it's I was looking at the reviews on Letterboxd, which is another cheeky way of saying go follow me on my Letterboxd to see what up and coming reviews that will potentially be happening on the channel. That a lot of people were singing praises for that scene, and even those who aren't massive Final Destination fans, but who have seen the film, do say that match cut instantly, is probably one of the best in the franchise. So after they die, the pervert gets killed. Frankie G. He gets a engine fan in the back of the head. And then so others die. She's trying to figure out as well. Wendy's trying to figure out, who was behind the two emo couples of Ian and I'm forgetting her name. But she also sings. She's a popular singer as well. Um, but after the emo girl dies, then she figures out after falling asleep that looking at the last photo she took before the roller coaster happened, that it was her sister who was in front of them, and so it's her sister and a friend that is the next to go. So they go to this big um, 300th centennial celebration of when the British were coming, during the Revolutionary War. And essentially, they all survive except for, the friend that was sat beside the sister because she gets a giant flagpole through the chest. As well, Ian McKinley dies because, Wendy figures out that in her photo, there's not really the only reference that she could potentially look at to see how she could die is the fact that she's wearing a McKinley High School T-shirt, and Ian McKinley is also named after the school, so that's who will be the one that kills her. Except he ends up dying, getting smashed by a big pole as well. And so then it cuts, 5 months down the line, Wendy's in college. She's on the subway in New York, talking with her roommates. And then just she's starting to get that feeling again, the clairvoyancy feeling of that death is like, haha, you thought you could escape me. You were fucking wrong. I'm back, bitch. I'm going to make sure I get you this time. And to make sure that he not only just gets her, just as she's trying to step off the subway, who should be happen to show up but her sister. Not only that, but the her Wendy's best friend's boyfriend just also happens to be on the subway. And so Wendy has another vision of the train derailing, killing everybody. And then we see it happen, but then we see that it comes back to her before all that happens, and then it's them panicking trying to get off, and we don't get to see what happens. My guess is they all die. The same way I believe that the two survivors from Final Destination 2 also met their untimely end, because I don't think that bringing new life that should not exist shouldn't have existed. It was enough to save them, um so yeah, like I said, this was the one that got me into the franchise, and I just loved it. I love the whole roller coaster scene and seeing that play out because it kind of reminded me of Happy Tree Friends. If you're not sure what Happy Tree Friends is, you're probably too young because I grew up on YouTube. Like I'm an old fart when it comes to YouTube. I've been on YouTube since 2008, 2009. I didn't start posting until 2011. But one of the things that I grew up watching was on YouTube was Happy Tree Friends before it came an actual cartoon series on Cartoon Network, I believe it was. And so they also had like a roller coaster themed episode. Obviously, Final Destination 3 came out before all of that. But yeah, it's still great, and the actors in it, they actually feel like proper actors. Like they're really good. Now I know that for Final Destination 1, the person who played Alex was the same person who was Stan in Eminem's, music video for Stan, which is something I only learned later on in life. Excuse the hiccup there. But yeah, I absolutely loved everyone that was in this film. They were all great. All the actors and actresses who were in it was great. The director honestly should have just directed all 5 movies. They should have also introduced new interesting things. For this, the deaths, whilst gory, um, definitely could have been slightly better. There's definitely more gory deaths in the first 2 as well as in the fourth and fifth film. And so yeah, I do get where some people say that the formula is starting to get stale by this point, but I still love it. It's still one of my favorites. That I now, it's been a while since I last done a full watch through of the franchise, and honestly, it still holds up. It's definitely one of my favorites. So there you guys go. If you've seen Final Destination 3, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. And since it is Halloween, let me know what horror movie you plan to watch tonight. I personally probably won't watch a horror film. I'll probably be hard at work on November's uploads because, in case you don't know, for November it's a trilogy month again. So I'll be probably hard at work finishing off trilogy month, if I haven't already, because I'm pre-recording this in September, on the 15th. Yeah, the 15th of September is when I'm recording this. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I hope you all have a happy Halloween, and I shall see you all tomorrow for another brand new video, which I can actually tell you, since I have my yoke here, it is going to be my season 3 review of the Orville. I shall see you all tomorrow for that one.